If you want to know how you can transition from doing an FSJ to doing the Pflege generalistische Ausbildung, do not skip this video. As a matter of fact, make sure to stay up until the end of the video because I'm going to be breaking down all the tips and things that I did. Yes, that's right. I'm not just speaking out of what I think, but I'm just going to be sharing with you guys the actual tea on how I did it. Hie Azubis, let's get started. Let me already start by saying it. The easiest transition that you can do from FSJ to Ausbildung is by considering remaining in the same organization. It can be the same organization or the same city or even the same state. These are the chances that give you the less stress or less things to do when you are transitioning. Of course, it is possible to transition, for example, from Berlin to Munich or from Stuttgart to anywhere else in Germany. Klar. But if you are looking for the less stressy way, remain in the same city. So that means that when you are applying for your FSJ at the very beginning, honey, if this company is a company that you see yourself wanting to do an Ausbildung in, it is important to already ask this during your FSJ interview. Okay, you can already ask them, am I able to do my Ausbildung here when I'm done with my FSJ? I personally encourage people to start applying or start considering the whole application process, the whole transitioning from FSJ to Ausbildung, lieber 5 to 6 months before. Now, I know that seems like a lot. You're thinking, Lasasha, what am I doing 5 to 6 months before? But I promise you, as we are breaking down these points, it's going to make sense, especially if you are an Ausländer. And like, if you're not from Germany, you know, there's going to be visa and there's going to be all these things and there's all stick around, okay? It's going to make sense. So the first thing to do is, of course, start by drafting up your motivational letter and your German CV according to the German standard in the German language, of course. Okay, I'm going to make a video about the things that you need to make sure that you keep in mind when you are writing up, for example, your CV or your motivational letter according to the German standard. And since we said that the easiest option is for you to remain with the same organization, you want to first start applying to your current institute. Apply to them, but at the same time, simply because you are already there as an FSJler and they already know you is not a guarantee. I know this one, it is not a guarantee. So still work with me, iPad, stop dimming. Also need to apply to other different organizations that also offer the Ausbildung. Okay, it's really important. Do not just apply to where you are and just think because you've been there, they know you, y'all are cool, they go take you. That may not be the case. Okay, that may not be the case. Take it from me. That may not be the case. I would encourage you to also ask your current FSJ place for them to give you a recommendation letter. I quickly noticed that when I was also doing my applications to other Ausbildung places, they were requiring this recommendation letter from my current FSJ place. So now we've sent out the motivational letter, we've sent out the applications, we've requested for the recommendation letter, it's probably still being written. Now, the next thing you want to do is to contact like the Ausländerbehörde that is responsible or zuständig for your area. I've seen so many cases of whereby people are asking me, Lasasha, what are the Ausländerbehörde requirements? Now, I'm going to share the ones that I was requested of to the best of my remembrance, but it could be different from state to state in Germany. So you want to now contact your Ausländerbehörde and ask them, I would like to do an Ausbildung here in the state. So what are the requirements for you to be able to apply for the visa?
During the editing of this video, I realized that I was using the word visa, but actually what I meant to use was the word residence permit, because visa is usually for when you are entering Germany.
So in my case, in the state that I live, the Ausländerbehörde wanted me to give them, number one, proof of insurance that I'm going to be insured during the time of my Ausbildung. Of course, bear in mind that I already had insurance during the time of my FSJ, but I'm going to tell you in a minute what I did. Then number two, they wanted to see a language certificate. In my case, I think they wanted to see if it was not A2 or B1 or something like that. But wait, I know you're thinking, but Lasasha, Ausbildung is B2. I know, but usually it's the school that needs B2, and most of the cases not the Ausländerbehörde. Behörde. I don't really understand why it's like that, but that's what I noticed. They also wanted me to show them proof of where I was going to be staying, like a Bestätigung. And if I'm not mistaken, the last thing that of course they needed from me was the Ausbildung contract itself. Okay, so let's just quickly go through those ones. Number one, insurance. You can either send them an email or you can contact them, like you can call them, calling your insurance company and let them know that you would like to extend your insurance from 1 year to however long your Ausbildung is going to last. Yeah, in my case, I went there in person because I was very mindful of my time frame. I was very mindful that sometimes things may take longer. That was very mindful of me, very demure. And everything was pretty much done on that day. Language certificate. I'm assuming since we are already at a 6th month of the FSJ, by now you probably should be having either the date of when you have already booked to make sure that you write your B2, or you've already written the examination and you're waiting now just for you to get the results. For example, if you're planning to write the TELC exam, keep in mind that it does take 2 to 4 or maybe sometimes even 8 weeks for the results to be out. You want to be mindful. If you have not done any of this right now, not very mindful of you, I would like to say. But I listen, I don't judge. Even though I am. No, I'm kidding. Remember we sent out our applications online? Probably, let's just say approximately a week or two, we probably should be now having some responses, from some of the places that we applied to. If they have liked your application, your CV, your motivational letter, your recommendation letter, considering that maybe you've already sent it, this is now the part that they will now respond to you in your email, most likely, or maybe give you a call, depending on how they want to do it, and invite you to come for an interview. It's time to prepare for the interview. They have told you that, they like your application and they would like to invite you for a Vorstellungsgespräch. They've told you when it is, what time you should come. Now, I'm not going to go much into detail, breaking down all the tips and things that you can do to prepare for the interview, because I have already made another video about that, so you want to go and check out that video. But I will share maybe just 1 or 2 points. For example, you want to make sure that you go on their website. You probably went on their website when you were sending your application in the first place, but this time around you want to go a little bit more in detail, because it could be that maybe they might ask you about these things during your interview. So another thing, just have an idea of the possible questions that they might ask you. And don't worry, I already made 2 videos about possible questions that you may be asked. I went through a couple of interviews and I just kind of made like a small summary of the questions that I was asked. In some cases, it could be that your interview day might be put together with the Probetag. If that is the case, they will inform you about it. Probetag is basically you also get to work for maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, or maybe a few hours on that day, so that you get to see the station or you get to see the field of area and they get to see you as well. Of course, you want to make sure that you go well dressed, you arrive on time, we go for the interview, and that's done. There are 2 areas that we're now focusing on: the school and the Ausländerbehörde. Let's go ahead and start with the Ausländerbehörde. So hopefully at this point, it is now approximately 1 or 2 weeks after the Ausbildung, and hopefully we now have a contract in the mailbox waiting for us to sign. You probably will receive 2 to 3 contracts. Why? Because one is for you to sign and keep, and the other one is for you to sign and send back to the school. Now it's time to send the application to the Ausländerbehörde. Per post, per email, how best you want to do it. And now we're waiting for the Ausländerbehörde to respond to us. But they're not responding to us already with the visa. They're responding to us with the date as to when we can go to the Ausländerbehörde, basically finish off the application. Now, the school. This is the part that maybe they will ask you now to send documents that also need from you. For example, also the language certificate, if you had not already sent it to them with your application before. Maybe particular vaccinations, a police clearance. If your school is the one that's going to be responsible for the place that you're going to be living, they're now going to be communicating with you who you should speak to or who for you to be able to get your key. If you are moving to only just a room and there's no bed, no equipment, no anything, of course they let you know this beforehand. But I want to give you a tip. This video is not sponsored. Let me just go ahead and say that before time. I want to go ahead and download the eBay Kleine Anzeige. On this application, you are able to find either for completely free, kostenlos, or at very cheap, reasonable prices. You can be able to find things like bed, tables, pots. I would like to believe that you can find almost anything, almost everything on this application. You know, people don't throw away their things. They put there and say, hey, I don't want this anymore. If anyone needs it, you know, pots, plates. eBay Kleine Anzeige really helped me when I first started out in my FSJ, you guys. Like, I'm telling you, all you will have to just organize is how to get the things to you, you know. But for the most part, it's really a helpful application. So hopefully now at this point, the Ausländerbehörde has responded and told us when we can be able to come to the Ausländerbehörde and given us a date and a time to finish up the application process. But the other reason why I said to start 5 to 6 months before is because in some cases, when the Ausländerbehörde then gives you this date, it could be, for example, maybe next week, it could be the day after tomorrow, it could be next month. It could be 1.5 months later. So that's exactly another reason why I said you have to be mindful and start your application processes in time. Okay, so you have finished your application process with the Ausländerbehörde, and now you prayerfully wait. And as well, you've given the school the rest of the documents that they needed from you. And now the Ausländerbehörde will then inform you and they send it to you. And you are now officially an Azubi. I can officially call you an Azubi. Anyways, you guys, if you found this video helpful, do me a favor. Honestly, like, it's 2025. Let's support. I'm kidding. But honestly, though, if you found this video helpful, let me know down in the comment section. And I would really like to know, was it the same for you guys? Or did you do something different? Or how long did it take for you guys to do the process? Yeah? Kindly subscribe, share this video with who you feel it might help. Stay blessed, and I will catch you on my next one. Bye.